As I'm sure most of you had heard by now, it has unfortunately been announced that The Acolyte will not be continuing into a second season. Even though the show was very divisive, I was a part of the people that really enjoyed it and really wanted to see a second season really badly. So it sucks to see we're not going to get a season 2, because I think there was still so much potential to see in the storylines that we could have seen with these characters. They left a handful of doors open, including Darth Plagueis. We had to see him in live action for the first time, and there were just so many other cool things I thought they could have done with the show. Like, we're never going to get to see the backstory and the whole history between Chimera and Vernestra. There was clearly so much tension when they just sensed each other were on the same planet. And now we never get to see what actually happened with these guys. And I will say, outside of all of the review bombing that was happening online, that really sunk the show, in my opinion. People who were just saying the show was terrible for no real merit. There were some people who had very real complaints. I will say the show was not perfect, but there were definitely people who were complaining about it and giving bad reviews with no merit to the actual show. But I think one thing that really kind of sunk the show is that most of the characters that people were like, wow, that's really cool, or they really fell in love with those characters, like Sol and Jeki and Kalnaka, the first live action Wookiee Jedi, they were all unalived in season 1. So now all the characters that are left are not really characters that people felt a connection to, the people that really gravitated to, or just even want to see them on screen outside of Chimera, obviously. Chimera absolutely was one of the MVPs of the season, along with Sol, I think, in my opinion. So he was really the only character that I think people would have been coming back to watch to see the next stage of his story. So that's just really unfortunate to hear. I compared the Acolyte to Rogue One in a way in a past video, because a lot of the characters that we watch throughout and fall in love with don't make it to the end of the series or make it to the end of the movie. But then we end up getting Andor out of that, which is one of the best Star Wars projects out there. So I guess we'll just see what the next step is. But God, Lucasfilm, please try to continue the story of these characters in some way. Even if it's in a book. I've never read any Star Wars books, but I think I would be very inclined to check out a book that's about Chimera and Vernestra, or Chimera Osha and Plagueis going through some kind of, mission together, or working together, or figuring things out that way. I would be very interested to see something like that. So even if it's not a movie or a show or even an animated show, please find a way to continue this story. Please, there are people out there who will watch it or listen to it or read it. I think that there needs to be a bookend to this story. There needs to be an end. Let me know what you guys think about the news in the comments, but I know personally, I'm truly devastated we're not going to see season 2.